Alright, hey guys, this is J19 brought to you another video, but we are going to be doing our first ever Let's Talk PlayStation podcast with a friend of mine, Overexposure. I'll let him introduce himself, but you guys know me, I'm J19. I cover PlayStation games, mostly JRPGs, RPGs, third party games. I'm not really big on covering Xbox. I'm not really big at covering Nintendo. So if you guys are looking for that, check out other channels. But as for me, I cover PlayStation, AAA games, third party games like Square Enix, Capcom, you name it. So if you guys want that, you guys can catch me live on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But as soon as I get my Last of Us Part 1 copy, I will be streaming that probably Tuesday night when I get the game. Get up, I'll do an unboxing video for you guys. But yeah, that's my plan. So you guys want to subscribe and hit that bell notification to stay notified when we do more of these podcasts. If you guys want more of third-party games, AAA games like what from Sony, feel free to subscribe. With that said, I'll hand it over to Overexposure. He can tell him about himself a little bit, and we'll get started with this podcast.
Hi guys, I'm Overexposure, and I'm really excited to join the podcast today, J19. I've always loved talking about PlayStation and PlayStation games. Um, I've always loved the games that they offer, like the story-driven games. So I'm really excited to be on this podcast and talk about it with J19, because we got a lot of topics to cover, don't we, J19?
That's
We
right.
got The Last of Us Part 1. We're going to be talking about The Last of Us Part 1. We're going to be talking about the rumors of a PlayStation Showcase. And we're going to be talking a little bit about
Yeah,
God of War Ragnarok because it's right around the corner.
it
Just
is.
over 2 months away.
It
Kind of
is.
crazy to think about. Yeah. So let's get right into it.
Okay, so I'll start it off. There are been rumors by incredible sources, and other people have been not really leaking anything. There's no leaks, but there are rumors that Sony is about ready to tell us about a PlayStation event, which we all know is going to be in September. They've been doing it the last what 2 3 years, at least 2 years back to back in September, early stages of September, mind you. So there's a lot of rumors going around, speculation from sources that Sony wants to do a PlayStation event on September 8th. Now, do I think it's going to happen? I think so because Sony right now is having some. They're having a lot of fire right now. They got a little fire under their skin, and they definitely need to uh, pour out the fire before it gets really too
Yeah.
bad. So we'll
Sony
talk
is
about that
playing
shortly.
it very. Yeah. I was just gonna say. I mean, Sony is playing it very close to the chest because we know that they have 10 live service games. They've got 10 live service games
Yeah,
that they haven't announced. I mean, I think they've only announced one, and that's the Last of Us multiplayer game.
yeah,
And they have 25 brand, or I think 25 games in development internally at PlayStation Studios. I could be wrong, and they haven't revealed like barely any of them. I mean, all listen, all the exclusives that are from PlayStation Studios that we know are coming are Marvel's Wolverine and Spider-Man 2. Those are the only games. We don't know anything.
all right,
And God of War Ragnarok. That that's it. I mean, I don't really count Final Fantasy because that's Square Enix. They're
yeah,
not part of like PlayStation Studios, so I don't really count that. But yeah,
right,
man, like they're playing it very close to the chest for sure.
for sure, for sure. Um, And what do we want to see at PlayStation event if it does happen September 8th? And before we do that, if they're going to announce it, I think what better way to announce it is right after Labor Day. Let everybody just sit and spin a little bit.
Yep.
Let them flame the fire a little more. And Sony just says, you know what? We're sorry for what we done, but it has to happen. I hope not. But I hope they apologize a little bit. But if they don't, at least say, hey, we got a PlayStation event this Thursday, September 8th. And I cannot wait to see that. Hopefully they do announce it. My gut feeling says yes. I don't know what you think.
I would love to see. All right, here are my top three. Ready? Ghost of Tsushima 2,
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid remake, Silent Hill remake,
Yeah, yeah.
And man, listen, listen. I would love to see. I would absolutely love to see first God of War, like the very first God of War remade for PS5. Just to imagine that. I mean, I think there was a video that came out a little while back that imagined the
Hmm.
original God of War running on Unreal Engine 5, and it just looked absolutely amazing. I mean, and if that happens, then man, dude, I would, I'm gonna be elated. Like I'm telling you, man. So,
Yeah.
but those are my top three. Top three. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, my top three, if I had to choose three, I want to see more on Spider-Man 2. That's 2023.
Oh yeah.
Insomniac are very, very like hardcore, hard workers. Like they don't sleep. They're Insomniac, so they go with their name.
Yeah.
I want to see more.
I mean,
Have
Insomniac
any
are.
if they don't have any gameplay, if they have just a little bit like a developer update of like how is Wolverine coming along, like can it give us a little more information, like what kind of game is it going to be,
Guaranteed.
you know?
Um, I'm telling you, Insomniac are absolutely on fire. I mean, listen, we got my.
Yeah, guys, we apologize for all the laughing going on, but we'll get right back to it.
I'm sorry. Um, we got Miles. All right.
Okay, I'll talk while he's busy laughing. He'll get those
Okay.
system.
All right. All right. All right.
But
Um,
so you got Spider-Man.
they.
They done Miles Morales,
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Now they got Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine. That's not all. They have a live service game in
Insomniac.
development.
Yeah. Insomniac are absolutely on fire, and I know they're so excited. They're so excited to bring players an emotional and a suspenseful journey into Marvel's Wolverine,
Yeah,
and knowing that Insomniac is gonna give Marvel's Wolverine the same treatment as Marvel's Spider-Man, I can only imagine just how good it is. And look, Jan, I'm gonna be real with you right
yeah,
now. I don't want Wolverine being like a T-rated game. I want an M. I want to see some gore. I want to see some violence. I want to see some blood. Okay.
yeah,
I don't want them holding back with this game. Okay.
yeah,
I want to see like I want Wolverine to tear the shit out of the enemies and just tear them apart. And I want to see blood everywhere. I want to see intestines. I want to see heads flying. Okay.
yeah,
I want to play as a real Wolverine in the comics. That
yeah.
would be amazing.
Now
Yeah. And
they didn't say it's rated M, but they said it's really it's a mature themed game, so it gives us a
and
good
we
idea.
don't know if it be an open world game or a linear game. I don't know, but Spider-Man was an open world game, so they might do the same with Wolverine. But I don't know because Wolverine doesn't need it to be an open world
No,
because
I have made a
yeah,
video covering what I want in a Wolverine game and what from Insomniac. I want them to have their own twist of Wolverine, not like what Marvel's has got. Everybody else has created Wolverine games. I want their own spin on it because what they've done with Spider-Man is incredible. Like that's their own story twist. Like it's freaking phenomenal. Like Wolverine, what I want in Wolverine, I don't want like an open world. Here's your city, go and explore. I want a
yeah, yeah,
gritty. I want to know Logan as a character, as Wolverine, and I also want it to be like a linear, like story focused game but
oh,
mature. It's got to
absolutely,
be
yeah,
mature because that's what Wolverine. He's not a laid back Spider Man. So hey, look at me, I'm Spider Cop. You know.
yeah. Like I want it to be like the Logan movie, which was absolutely amazing,
Oh yeah.
amazing. If it can match that, uh, like a Logan style Wolverine, that would be amazing.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah. So if we see more of Marvel's, and I don't know if this is true, but if you go on IMDb, um, they're listing that Marvel's Wolverine is going to release on February of 2024. I don't think it's releasing on February 2024. That just
Yeah.
sounds way too soon. Maybe I'm thinking maybe like a holiday 2024 release. That
Yeah.
would be
my gut feeling is like it's Wolverine's a 2025 game.
2025, yeah.
Yeah,
Holiday 2024, early 2025 is what I'm
and
thinking.
and a lot of people are like, there's like saying, well, so I've been talking to chats today and talking about my feelings for like Sony PlayStation as a whole for 2023. They don't have a lot of games come out in 2023. Like what 2023 is going to be for, I call it, it's a third party games themed year. It's going to be loaded with Square Enix, it's going to be loaded with Capcom, it's going to be loaded with whatever, with Hogwarts Legacy, Dead Island 2, and you got Resident Evil 4 remake, you got Dead Space remake, you got who knows? It's like it doesn't seem like it's a Sony
Yeah,
focused PlayStation focused year, or Xbox got some games coming out, and so would Nintendo. But like Sony, a lot of their games are going to be like a maybe late 2023 at the earliest, but 2024, 2025. Does that mean that Sony don't have any live service games coming out in 2023? I think they do. They got a few of them lined up. Do they have some surprises for 2023? Like I'm going based on what we know. Like we got
yeah,
Spider-Man 2 coming next year. Other than that, Sony does have PlayStation exclusives coming out, like Forspoken. They got Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, but Rebirth's problem is, uh, it might not make the 2023 launch. If it does, it's gonna be like a holiday thing. But
I'd be surprised if it does.
yeah,
Yeah,
but I hope, like, let's get back to the PlayStation event. I want them to surprise us. I want this PlayStation event to be like the biggest showcase of them all. Like you're getting to the point that we're going to talk about the why they're on fire, because I'm kind of worried for my The Last of Us Part One Firefly edition, because it don't look good. Got delayed, and there's a whole bunch of people complaining that they got their copies and it's smashed. Like the box is all smashed, a nice white cover is all smashed up, but the game's fine.
I heard about that.
But like Sony, like there's mixed reactions to like Sony's gonna refund it and Sony's not gonna refund it. It's like, sorry, you're lost, 70 100 bucks, goodbye. Thank you for the money, fam. But that the other problem is people are upset about the price point of The Last of Us Part One because they bought the game twice for $110. It's like it's my problem. But another thing they're on fire for is the PlayStation 5 price hike in many countries. Not the US. We're good. We don't have a price hike. But right now, Sony's on a lot of fire. The only way you can quench the fires, you're going to have a badass PlayStation event. That's going to say, hey,
Yeah,
look,
dude.
sorry for the price hike, fam, and sorry for the issues with The Last of Us, but we got some big games to help put your mind at ease. Show us Spider-Man 2 gameplay. I already saw the cinematics. Give us gameplay. I want to see. This is what I think Spider-Man 2 is going to be about. It's not co-op. It's single player. They already confirmed that. You're going to play as Peter Parker, some missions, and then you're going to switch over to Miles Morales. And then going to be some missions where you're going to play. You're not going to play one. You can choose one or the other, but they're going to be combining into a quest together, a mainline quest.
You know what would be really interesting? Yeah. You know what would be really if we get like a Wolverine cameo in
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2.
Oh
That would
man,
Yeah, that would be awesome.
that would be sick. Wolverine. You don't have to show me any gameplay. I don't think they got any, to be honest, right now. I mean, Insomniac might have a rough draft. They might show us like a
We
little,
all know
like Logan walking around like forest or something, or woods.
we all know Insomniac is a studio
Yeah.
that doesn't sleep.
Oh, and did you know this? Did you know this? That guess what
What?
team is making Wolverine? Insomniac. It's the same team that did Miles Morales.
Yeah.
So Miles Morales turned out fantastic. To be honest, I think I like Miles Morales better than 2018 Spider-Man. I just saw it as
You know what,
fantastic.
dude?
Doesn't mean 2018 Spider-Man sucked. It's just I thought Miles Morales. I actually like. I felt more. I felt more related to him. Like I don't know. I don't know why, but like I felt more for Miles than I did for Peter.
I think you're gonna
Oh, speaking of Wolverine, I got Wolverine playing in the background of our podcast right
Really?
now. Yeah. Oh, I was
Yeah,
like
I think it.
I missed out on the PlayStation event last year, so I had to watch it afterwards. But I found out that they did show Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine. I was still freaking like going nuts over it. I was like, holy crap, this looks freaking good. Ah,
Yeah, I was gonna say if they land Wolverine, which I'm assuming they will, I think we're gonna start seeing Insomniac making a lot more Marvel games.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot of Marvel games because I mean we all know Marvel's Avengers it didn't really land for Square Enix. I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was good, but just nowhere on the level of Insomniac. I mean Insomniac just absolutely
yeah.
on fire.
To be honest, though, the reason why Guardians of the Galaxy didn't live up to the hype is because Square Enix don't know how to market their games. Look at
Yeah,
Forspoken. They show a whole bunch of good gameplay, but they show some dialogue. Like, that's not your selling point. You know, it's like
yeah,
stick to what makes your game great. Like, I want to. I'll be honest. When I watch the trailers for Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm like, it sounds alright. I mean, it looks alright, but I don't know if I'm pick it up. But something told me it's like,
yeah.
it's Black Friday. It's $25. Pick it up. I picked up.
Mm,
I sat down and played it. It is one of the most surprising game of 2021.
it is.
Almost became my game
I
of the
think
year, but Resident Evil 8 was out that same year. So
you know. Yeah. My like one problem with Guardians of the Galaxy really is that you couldn't play as the other Guardians. You could only play as Peter Quill,
hmm
and you can only play as Peter Quill. I mean, like the only way you could play as the other two Guardians is like their superpowers. You can only activate their
yeah,
superpowers,
well,
which I kind of think
it's a you're controlling Peter because he's the main character, but the way they handle the team up attacks and stuff like that, they give me a team. I
yeah,
thought that was pretty neat. I thought that was pretty neat. Something different. You don't need to have where okay, now I'll switch over to this guy, let him do his move, and switch over to the girl, and switch over to
yeah,
I am Groot. I thought it was pretty neat. It's like, but what I really like about that game is the dialogue, the characters.
oh yeah,
Like
that
they, you know
the
what? To
story
be
is
honest with you,
really
they were. I watched both the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. They're good. Don't get me wrong, but I thought the
yeah,
game did better with the characters. I was like, holy crap! That's like this is great. Yeah, the gameplay is it's good enough to like make it fun. It wasn't great.
mm-hmm.
Not like oh my goodness, this is like the best thing ever in the world. But like, what drove it? The characters, the music, the music when you have stream mode off is big difference. Like
Oh yeah,
when I failed the huddle up for the first time, guess what I did? That game rickrolled me. It rickrolled me right at the beginning. I was like, what the hell? But that's funny. I want to see games that that like let's say like Forspoken. Why do you think Sony put some money into it? Because they know that people making fun of the dialogue, making fun of how like the dialogue and stuff looks. But this could be a
yeah,
sleeper of a game. That might be just a gameplay that makes people go, "Holy crap, this is good." Like no wonder why Sony bought
yeah.
exclusive rights for it. But the marketing is not
And
really the greatest for Square.
yeah, we know that Sony just raised the price for PlayStation 5, and they're gonna have to convince people we raised the price of the PS5, but it's time to show you what we've been working on. And
Yeah,
I think, I hope, if Sony announces that they're gonna have an hour and a half long showcase, I think we're gonna be in for a treat. I think Sony's gonna bring it on home. Okay,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think they're gonna bring it on. I think um, my dream would be if I don't think this can happen. I think this is too good to be true. I'm like drooling right now. I'm gushing.
Yeah, I know. I understand that. You're gushing about PlayStation, what they can show us, because trust me,
Yeah.
what's Neil Druckmann working on?
But
We don't know.
yeah, and then
Ben
yeah,
Studio,
and
what are they
then
working on?
I want to see. I want to see what Naughty Dog is working on. I want to see what uh, Sucker Punch is working on. I want to see what Ben Studios work. I want to see what all the PlayStation Studios are working
Yeah.
on. Okay, because we really don't know anything except for Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine, and Insomniac, the studio that never sleeps.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. Spider-Man, the city that never sleeps. Insomniac, the city that,
Yeah.
the studio that never sleeps.
Well,
Um,
we also got the confirmed multiplayer for The Last of Us. Neil Druckmann
yeah,
said that we're gonna have more information
yeah,
next year, so not gonna be at this PlayStation event, but that's still in the works. I'm interested in that. I want to play that.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. And I know,
I will say this: Sucker Punch.
Sony also recently
If
acquired.
you look at their recent hirings, like from like last year, guess you know what they're
Yeah,
making, right? They're making the Ghost of Tsushima too, the sequel.
I hope. But we also know that Sony acquired Hidden Studios. They're also working on a new IP that
Yeah,
we don't know about. They're working on a PlayStation 5 exclusive, I think. So that's going to be interesting to see.
yeah,
I think they're going to see Sony. Listen, I'm going to be completely honest with you. When Microsoft acquired Activision Blizzard, it just felt like they were like just spending money left and right. But with Sony, we know that Sony likes to make very strategic, strategic acquisitions.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's just like the mobile games studio they just bought. People are mocking that. They said, "What are you buying a mobile game studio for?" Because Sony knows that mobile games, what they do, they make money. They make money, right?
Yeah.
Gotchas and cosmetics and Sony wants to invest in
Yeah.
that because handhelds, we already know that PSP and Vita, they did all right, but like they went downhill.
Yeah.
So they're not
They,
going
they,
back in the handheld race. It's like, we're not competing with Switch.
it would be cool. It would be cool to see handheld, but I'm very interested to see what lots of multiplayer is
Yeah,
gonna have to offer. That's gonna be a guess. Yeah. Um, that's gonna be awesome. But man, if we get a Ghost of Tsushima 2 announcement, that would be awesome.
that'd be sick.
If we get
Ben Studio, we
PS4,
know this. Ben Studio is working on a AAA
they're not
open
making
world
Days Gone
game.
2.
No, they're not
It's
making
not.
Days Gone 2 because Sony said, nope, not right now. Maybe
Yeah.
in the future, but they are making a open world game that's kind of similar to Days Gone. But we don't know like what kind of game it is. Is it fantasy? Is it survival? Is it apocalyptic? We don't know. But it's an open world game,
Yeah.
just like Days Gone.
But you know what I always ask myself? Um, who's making these decisions over at Sony? Who?
I don't
Who?
know. I don't know.
Because I'm just fascinated. Really? I mean, Days Gone sold a lot of copies, and a lot of people liked it. And
Yeah.
for Sony to just, now we're not gonna make it. Who is making these decisions at Sony? I need to know. Is it just one man? Is
I
it
think the
four
problem
guys?
is
What is it?
like Days Gone didn't get the perception or like the sales that Sony thought they was gonna get. I mean, it's
Yeah.
all right. It got in the 70s and stuff, and a lot of users saw, many users saw it's great, but it wasn't to the point where Sony's like, man, this sold like The Last of Us Part 2. This sold like God of War. This sold like Ghost of Tsushima and, games like that. The game did
Yeah.
all right, but it's to the point where it's like, we're going to hold off on Days Gone too. But if people start demanding it, maybe Sony goes, okay, we're hearing you, fans. We're hearing you. Here we go.
I also think that we're gonna see more Final Fantasy VII Rebirth gameplay, or possibly a new trailer.
At the
Um,
at the PlayStation
the trailer
event,
for it. Yeah. At the event. Um,
Gematsu article did cover this. I did cover it in my video, but we can go over it just a little bit. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Final Fantasy 16 do have trailers. They're in trailer form for the Tokyo Game Show. But Gematsu also said that we don't know if they're rehash trailers or brand new ones. But he said they can also, even though they are scheduled for TGS, but guess what? If PlayStation event's right around the corner, like before TGS, maybe TGS will say, okay, Sony, maybe if you want, you're not going to be there, but maybe you want to like showcase Final Fantasy 16 and 7 Rebirth are on your end, is you're going to have, guess what? You're going to have more viewers, right, than a Tokyo Game Show. Tokyo Game Show is big for Japanese, like Japanese users and viewers and stuff. But PlayStation event always has millions. They always got millions of people like watching their streams and stuff. So like the monsters they could show it off at the PlayStation event if it's. And he even thinks that September 8th is the PlayStation event.
Yes.
So,
Well,
interesting.
I don't know when they could announce it. Maybe that's alright. Maybe they could announce it on like Tuesday because when they announced State of Play for Horizon, they announced it on Tuesday and it happened on Thursday.
Yeah.
So maybe that happened, but
I also
I don't
think,
know.
I also think this is what we're also going to see at PlayStation event is what else does Sony likes to showcase? They like to showcase Resident Evil. Resident Evil 4 Remake is going to have a trailer at the PlayStation event. It's that simple.
It is, and I want to see what Haven's Haven Studios is working on
Yeah.
because we know that Sony acquired Haven Studios and they're working on a new IP, and we don't know what that new IP is.
Yeah.
So
And
it's gonna be interesting.
and Housemark, the one that's created Returnal, they're also working on a new IP.
Okay.
We don't know what it is. It's probably gonna be another like a bullet hell game like Returnal, but it's that sort of wheelhouse. But
We know that Sucker Punch, they're making Ghost of Tsushima too. There's no way they're not making it.
yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima 2. I mean, if they're not making a Ghost of Tsushima 2, they would have already announced, hey, we're not gonna make it.
Have you played Ghost of Tsushima?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I played it.
Did you play on the PS5? Like PS5 makes it even more groundbreaking. Like holy crap!
Yeah.
I played the DLC for the PlayStation 5 via the PlayStation Plus Extra, and it's night and day difference.
Oh my god.
Night and day. So
It's so hard.
um, I do. You know what? I want to see what Blue Point is working on because they're working on a beloved title. They're remaking it. And guess what? Guess what? One game that Sony owns. It's their own game. It's a JRPG that everybody played back in the 90s. It's Legend of Dragoon. What if Sony brings that back and say, here's a remake of it? Ah,
That would be insane.
I keep asking. It's like, why do you just put that on PS Plus Premium? I'll go back to PS Plus Premium if you put Legend of Dragoon on there or Final Fantasy 13 series. Come on now, knuckleheads. Sorry, I don't like to call Sony a knucklehead, but it's like, come on, come on. It's not that hard to emulate because that's what the problem is they don't know how to emulate their games like Xbox does or Nintendo. So
Yeah.
and they also got a new emulation team that's working on something, and the rumors and speculations going around is they want to make it where PlayStation 3 games are a lot easier to do. So there's a lot of PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 games that are not available yet.
What's you know, we haven't really talked about this, but what's Santa Monica gonna do after God of War? I mean, we don't know
Mm,
anything.
oh,
I mean, who knows?
the
They might
next
have already started production.
the next game that's going to be out after God of War Ragnarok is it's not God of War. God of War the next
No.
stage. They're going to like what is it? They're going like Aztec next. Like going to deal with those. Yeah, we'll deal with those guys next on their adventure. But the next game that's going to be out is what Corey's working on from Santa Monica. Corey is working on. He goes right now.
Last year that he was gonna do it last time.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
he's not on the God of War Ragnarok project, but he did mention that he is working on an IP, a new IP, and he says you guys would love for me to spoil it right now, but I can't. All eyes are on Ragnarok. And so
So hopefully we're gonna.
Speaking of Ragnarok, let's talk about it. Did you see the gameplay footage they showed off by Game Informer?
I did.
Holy crap, that was great. I love the UI.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me your thoughts. You go first.
All right. The one thing that I didn't like is they only showed us like a minute and a half of gameplay. That's not a lot of gameplay.
No, of course
But
not.
I think on Tuesday they're gonna show some more gameplay. Um, because we're only 2 months away. I mean, it's
Yeah,
literally right
and
around the corner.
this is my opinion on this. Like Game Informers, they got like up to like for the next couple of days, like this week, they do have up to like 4 minutes of gameplay total. So every day they're gonna be showcasing. They'll have like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, which is fine. It's a little teaser because a lot more on what Santa Monica's doing. Santa Monica's like, you guys can go ahead and tease this a little bit because I think this is what's gonna happen. God of War Ragnarok is gonna have a good segment at the PlayStation event for about 10-15 minutes long with them going through some new updates on like gameplay. They may show they're gonna leave off a little bit of a teaser at the end. Like you fight a boss and some kind of story moment is gonna happen and it's gonna cut right off. They want people to get hyped. What better way to do that as a PlayStation event with what less than 2 months away from this thing coming out?
Yeah.
Like it's just the
And
what was it? Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you, J19, what do you think Neil Druckmann is working on?
You want my idea?
What you take?
There's only two options. There's only two games he's working on. A lot of people ain't gonna like this idea. The first one, this is not. This is probably not the one he's really working on right now. He's got it ready to be worked on. Is The Last of Us Part 3. He's gonna lead the charge on Last of Us Part 3. But but if you look back, I read I watched some videos about it. There is a statement going around that Ben Studio, the reason why they're working on their own title, their new IP, because they were working with Naughty Dog to work on Uncharted 5, excuse me. But
Okay.
Ben Studio wanted to do their own thing, so they asked Naughty Dog if they could be taken off the project to work on their own thing. And they said, yeah, that's fine. So where is Uncharted 5? Why do people say why do we need Uncharted 5? Uncharted 4 ended perfectly. Actually, to be honest, if you go back and watch the ending, I'm sorry, folks, spoilers. Click away from this video right now. I'm gonna spoil some things. I forgot the daughter's name for Drake, Nathan Drake, but she found in the closet some of the evidence that he used to be an adventurer, right? That he hung up his boots, his knife, his gun, and him and his wife decided to say, you know what, we're gonna hide the past from our daughter because we don't want her
Yeah.
going through the same thing that Nathan went through and she went through. But what she do? She looked in the closet and whatnot and found evidence, and she's like, "Ooh, what is this? This is interesting." And I think she meets up with her mom and dad, and like they talk and stuff. I don't remember. I don't have to go back and watch the end credit, but it's setting up. It's setting up either for her to have her own adventure growing up with Nathan Drake out of the picture. He's gonna be a little bit older now. He's not gonna be. He'll be like a Sully role if he happens to show up in her story, or they might they might just make Uncharted 5 as like new characters.
Yeah.
I'm leaning on Nathan
Or
Drake's daughter
get rid.
to be
Well,
the protagonist in Uncharted 5.
19. 19. If Neil Druckmann is working on a new IP, what if he is? We don't know.
Yeah,
You
he
see,
could be. There is a
we
rumor.
know that
There is
Naughty
a
Dog is
rumor of
doing
a
what they did
fantasy
this year.
of a fantasy game that Naughty Dog is maybe working on. Hmm.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We don't know. We don't know. Yeah.
But
But
I
yeah,
think
I would love to see. Yeah, but Neil Druckmann did say that
he did say what?
he was gonna wait. He was gonna wait until 2023 to announce what he's working on, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think we're gonna see at the PlayStation showcase this year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just Last of Us Part One. I can't wait to play it.
Oh my.
I played a little bit of the remaster. I think I got about 10 hours in. I was getting pretty into it, but when the rumors and leaks started to get more and more and more juicier, I said, you know what? Why do I want to play the free remaster? I know I could have. I could have just played through it and just played the remake. I said, you know what? I'm gonna hold off. If the remake can be just as good as part two, oh, sign me up. Sign me up. But now my copy's delayed because of Labor Day. It showed up in my state on Saturday morning. They was processing it, but because of the delivery trucks, they said, you know, it's Labor Day weekend. I'll get it Tuesday, but I'm worried about being damaged.
Guaranteed. I hope that we also part one Firefly edition arrives on time. Hope everything goes well.
Yeah, hope I get Tuesday.
I would be, yeah, because I mean, you really want that, and I think that I think you're in safe hands. I know I've been reading online that some people have been reporting that um,
Yeah,
they've been receiving less of part one Firefly editions, like
yeah,
damaged packaging. Don't be afraid to report it to Sony.
yeah.
Don't be afraid.
Oh, they're gonna know this because I'm unboxing it in a video. I'm unboxing it. So
Oh,
on my channel. So
okay.
you guys watch it live, not live, but like you guys watch my video and either I'm gonna be the happiest person on earth or I'm gonna be pissed. And trust me, people call me a Sony pony or a fanboy. I'm gonna tell you what, I would give Sony some crap. Like I don't just praise their stuff. Like Horizon Forbidden West, I'll give you a little backstory about this. Like I was so hyped for it. It was so great. Like
Yeah.
visually, the game was phenomenal, but like it had like a grainy filter on it. It looked alright at times, and then as I was playing it, I had a bug, which a few bugs that kind of bugged me. Like the soldier was like just he had a head. He had a head, no torso. He had like I think legs or something. It's like really creepy. And then I was talking to one of the NPCs, and there's a machine in the background like wiggling like crazy, like this wiggling. I was like, that's not. It's breaking my immersion, damn it. And then it got to the point. I was pretty early in the game, but the game started to like have a massive stuttering issue to the point where it was hurting my eyes, and I almost uninstalled it. This game almost gave me a headache. I paid $70 for this on PS5, and it's running like this, and this is supposed to be a Sony AAA game. The story and the characters carried it. The gameplay is fine, but like that part made me so like upset, and like I got to the point. It's only 7.5 out of 10. It could have been a 9 out of 10 easily, but the story and the characters is what drove it. I'm sorry, it's not a perfect game, guys.
I do feel like Gorilla could have improved upon the combat because I do feel like when I play Zero Dawn Forbidden West, I do feel like the combat felt a little bit clunky at times,
Hmm.
and I felt like in Horizon Forbidden West it was improved, but not by that much.
Yeah,
So if Sony does Horizon 3, then I would really like like to see them fix those issues.
yeah. I think what we saw at the ending of Horizon Forbidden West is setting up for the DLC. It's not Horizon
Yeah,
Forbidden, not Forbidden West. Maybe Forsaken South. I don't know where they're gonna go with this, but for the third game. But I think the DLC. We'll see how DLC goes. I'll play it, but I'm not gonna like.
yeah.
I'm not gonna praise the game because boy, that was rough. Why do you think they got a lower rating than Elden Ring? Elden Ring has some loading texture issue, but it's a massive freaking game for all on every single thing. Like it's a game that's,
Yeah.
I got used to it, but it ran smooth. I didn't have any stuttering. I enjoyed the game. The only problem I had with Elden Ring, before we get back on track to the next topic I want to talk about, is just going to lead up to it. Uh, the only thing about Elden Ring I didn't like is you go in the dungeons, you find this cave. Oh man, what kind of boss are gonna throw at you? It's a reskin. It's a reused asset. I fought this guy. I fought this enemy so many times. I don't need to fight another giant worm. I don't want to fight a giant. I don't want to fight this thing. I fought it like 10 times
very
already.
repetitive.
Yeah, got repetitive.
That's why whenever I play like a game from PlayStation Studios, it just it feels so. And listen, I don't mean to be a fanboy, okay?
Yeah, right.
I don't mean to be a fanboy, but I'm just saying. Um, whenever like I play a game like from Sony,
Yeah,
listen, I played Ratchet and Clank the day one. I played Horizon the day one, Horizon Forbidden West. Um, I played um, what were my other games? I played Spider-Man Remastered day one, and I mean all those games that I played, dude. I barely got any glitches or any bugs or
right,
any problems. That's why, and I swear to you, I'm not trying to be a fanboy.
right.
A lot of people call me a fanboy because I keep gushing about PlayStation.
I know you do, and that's fine. That's fine. I like the PlayStation games, but when a game that is supposed to run smooth, it's supposed to be like great overall technological game, if it's gonna have issues on my end, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna say,
Yeah,
"Yep, it's a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10. I have issues. It's a
yeah,
10 out." No, no. Get that fanboy crap out of here. I'm gonna be honest. I do no
yeah,
BS reviews. Just like Resident Evil 3 remake, you know what? It's an alright game. It's a 7 out of 10. It could be way better. You know, it kind of fell off at the end. It's like,
yeah.
oh.
So
So, anyways, let's get to
next
From
thing,
Software
yeah,
because this is important. Um, if nobody ever paid attention to this, I'm pretty sure everybody has. But if you're living under a rock, um, Sony and Tencent have went together and bought 30% of the shares of From Software. They are now like the lead dogs, other than the owner of From Software. So what does that do for Bandai Namco? Bandai Namco is no longer a part of From Software. So are they gonna be able to finish out the Elder Ring DLC, or is Sony and Tencent gonna say, "Hey, we got from here. Go take a hike.
yeah,
Take a walk." But now this means to me, since Sony's got a lot of stake in this thing, at least 14%, which is a big bunch. That's like a big chunk. Tencent's role in this,
yeah,
they just love to own things. They don't like to take over and all that. It's just like we just like to own it. We own it 16% of it. So they own more than Sony does. But I think with Sony is they're gonna have a lot stronger relationship with From Software. So we can expect some of their games to be exclusive to PlayStation. Just like at Demon Souls. That was exclusive to PlayStation, right? Expect more of that coming to PlayStation now. Doesn't mean that every single game, no. Because the owner of From Software, I forget their name, um, they're a family owned and big name, but they're not going to say, well, Sony gets to say so of everything because they want to make From Software make games that's best for the
yeah.
company.
There's also been rumors floating around that Sony may be ready to acquire Square Enix.
Oh no,
Um,
not this again.
huh?
Not this talk again. It's funny because every time we don't have any gaming news that's worthwhile, what's every YouTube channel talk
Yeah,
about? Sony is interested in Square Enix. Square Enix is selling things. They're looking nice and juicy for Sony to go, feed me that Japanese games, you know?
yeah,
The thing is about Square Enix, they're family owned in Japan. So yeah, Sony's not gonna be able to acquire unless they
yeah.
decide. Now what they can do, they
Sony's
can
eyeing them for sure.
they can talk to the family owned, family owned people that own Square Enix and say, hey, yeah, we would love to buy one of your IPs. What do you think the number one IP they would buy? Final Fantasy. Look at Final Fantasy 14. It's on PC, but it's on PlayStation 4 and 5 only. Look at Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Yes, it's on PC, but it's on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. What about Final Fantasy 16? It's on PlayStation 5. I mean, that just tells me that Sony loves Square Enix and Final Fantasy. So like they just want to say, hey, we want more Japanese IPs on our side. Come play our consoles. But my honest opinion, if Sony were able to talk into those family-owned Japanese studio companies and say, "Hey, we were willing to buy your company off you, and we promise to uphold what you want," there's only two of them that come to mind. It's Capcom, Square Enix. But since they're family-owned, people say we don't see that happening. So,
Yeah.
but does that mean that Sony can't buy exclusive deals for them? Absolutely not. They bought Forspoken, times deal, Final Fantasy VII Remake series, or RE series. That's going to be time exclusive to PlayStation. Final Fantasy 16, and then Sony and Capcom are such big friends, close relationship that Resident Evil is, of course, is on everything, but it's always marketed for Sony, right? So it's like,
Okay. Yeah.
so it's interesting. I can see
I think.
Capcom. Oh, another thing I want to see at the PlayStation event, and a lot of people want to see this. Where's Pragmata? Capcom said 2023 PlayStation event. It'd be
Where is it?
you got a few more months until 2023. So where is it?
Listen, we know that Sony. I think that a lot of people say Kojima betrayed Sony because
Not this. Not this again. They betrayed him. No, they betrayed him. You're gonna get Death Stranding too. You're
I
fine.
can't do that. But Kojima betrayed Sony because he's making an Xbox.
Okay, he's making Overdose on Xbox. That's fine. We get Death Stranding too. We're good.
We're getting Metal Gear Solid remake. We're getting Silent Hill.
Well, the Silent Hill reboot is actually real. There has been leaks on Twitter, but
Really?
somebody posted leaks of like images and stuff. It got deleted right away. It got deleted right away.
Wow.
And they were warned to say, "Do you mind not posting those again?" It's like, nah. I just said that. I go, nah.
And listen, we know that Sony works really well with its Japanese game developers. Actually, I don't know if you watched the Ghost of Tsushima, a director's commentary, but they actually brought over like a Japanese Kamukura expert professional
Yeah,
to
really?
come talk about, yeah, to come talk about like the actual history of what happened. Because I don't know if you know, but Ghost of Tsushima, like the events that happened in that game, like is related to real life events.
Yeah, yeah, I heard about that.
Uh,
Which is pretty
yeah,
sick.
yeah. Yeah, and so they brought over like a professor who is an expert about this, about like
Yeah,
Tsushima or whatever. They brought him over to talk about it because they needed help with the game,
yeah,
to fill in the many gaps in their knowledge, right?
absolutely.
And I just found it so fascinating, huh?
I say, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I found it so fascinating. I watched the whole thing, and he was actually brought to tears of how um, just how accurate the game was. He was brought to tears.
Oh wow.
I'm not even lying to you. He was brought to tears. And I was brought to tears too.
Yeah.
I was crying by the end. Yeah,
Well, that means
it's rough.
that just shows how much heart and soul that like these PlayStation studios put into games. It's just I'm hoping that Guerrilla Games learn from their lesson because they also talked a little smack to Elden Ring from software. Like they acted like a
Yeah.
bunch of children. It's like, you know what? It's like you might want to back off a little bit, because guess what game's my you know what game's my game of the year so far this year? A lot of people shake their heads. It's Dying Light 2. That's my game of the year so
Dying
far.
Light 2.
Yep.
Mine's Horizon Forbidden West, but I know, and I know again. I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna sound like a fanboy.
That's
But
fine.
um, I truly think that the PlayStation Studios games are like the games that they have put out are one of the best games of all time. Like God of
Right.
War, like The Last of Us, like Spider-Man. Those are one of the best games of all time. And Detroit Become Human. I mean, how can we forget about that? Until Dawn.
Like
Those are
Heavy
like
Rain. Heavy Rain's
games.
an arguable game too.
Amazing. I
Yeah.
can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Yeah, man. Listen, I don't mean to sound like a fanboy. Okay, please don't take it.
Well, my voice is still being recorded, so I don't know. I think I'm still. Yeah, my volume's good.
I know I sound. I know I sound like a Sony pony right now.
Sorry, sorry. Yeehaw! Yeah, folks, we are live when we're recording this, so anything goes with the Sony Pony Yeehaw segment.
We're both Sony pony.
Anyways, let's go back to we kind of went way off course. We tend to do this on these podcasts. This is our first one, but I have done J19's gaming podcast. So if you haven't checked those out, feel free to check those out. Pretty good, pretty good. I will be going live on those on Twitch. These are uploaded to YouTube. One of the first of many. Let's talk PlayStation podcast. That's the first one. So let's get back on track. We was talking about God of War right now. Okay, we was talking about the gameplay. What are some things you saw in the gameplay footage that you was like caught your attention, caught your eye?
I really like the fact that you can now grapple with the blades of
Blades of
chaos.
Chaos, yeah,
I
that
love
was
that.
sick.
Yeah, and
Um,
you know, we got to see in the trailer that there's some real tension brewing as Ragnarok approaches,
oh
and
yeah,
I just can't wait to see how the story unfolds,
yeah, me too.
and how Santa Monica Studio. I'm sure that they're preparing quite a few twists and turns,
Oh yeah,
and I just can't wait to see. I just can't wait to see.
like we already know they already confirmed like at least three out of the boss fights already. You know what they are?
And listen, we know that a game like God of War Ragnarok, Sony is playing this very close to the chest
Yeah.
with a game like God of War. I mean,
Well, they don't want to.
I mean,
They know that
J19.
people don't want to be spoiled, so they're not. They don't want to show a whole lot. But I'm a little irritated. I'm a little like it's so dry with
We've
gaming
only
news
seen,
with God of War Ragnarok. I'm
yeah.
kind of like my hype was there, but I kind of lost it a
I
little
mean,
bit.
we've only seen, yeah, we've only seen a glimpse of God of War Ragnarok.
I
Doesn't that
know
blow your mind?
it does. And like what caught my
Not
attention
one
in that
thing in the
trailer,
trailer.
what caught my attention is enemy variety. They actually showed off like these grims or grimes or gremlins. I don't know what they call them, but I'll have to go back and watch it, but they look interesting. I go, there we go. It's something different than Draugr. Like, we fought Draugr so many times, I'm like, or trolls. You know how many troll bosses we had? Like, over 10 of them? It's like, come on, folks. We've already fought like 10 of these. You know? I want to see enemy
Yeah.
variety in Ragnarok, and so far, what they show us is there's humanoids we're fighting. There's some joggers, of course, but they got the grims or grimes or I don't know what they're called, but from that trailer. That's what
I
popped
know.
out at me. The UI popped out, and also the new shields you get to use. Those are
Oh
incredible.
yeah, that's
That was
correct.
sick.
Yeah.
And like the finishing moves,
I'm
just for
just so
your,
proud.
you got different signature moves for your Blaze of Chaos and your axe. Oh, let's go.
Yeah. I'm just so proud for the team at Santa Monica Studio. I mean, they are so talented. They're such a talented team, and I'm so glad they're a part of PlayStation Studios. I think they make a great part of PlayStation Studios.
Yeah.
Um, I think they're an amazing game development team, and I can't wait to see what twists and turns they have in God of War Ragnarok. I mean,
Oh yeah.
maybe
Like there's already teases
you'll
in
hear.
2018 if you really pay attention. Like I was playing this for the first time and it was a good game. It's a 8.5 out of 10. But towards the end I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
are they telling me things and for Ragnarok that I'm like gonna be mind blown? Like
Yeah.
I think I'm getting the point again, like the feeling that a lot of people like to make fun of like this theory, but I think we're in for a heartbreaker. There is going to be
Oh
heartbreaking
yeah.
moments in this game that it's going to shock Santa Monica studio fans or God of War fans. They go, holy crap! Like what the just happened? Like this is
Man,
like
I don't think people are ready
no,
for God of War Ragnarok. To be honest, no. I don't think
because
people are ready.
what did Atreus
Yeah.
ask his dad about in 2018? Um, he asked him, "It's like, if it comes down to me killing you, would you let it happen?" He goes, "If it's for your survival, absolutely." Like
Oh,
that is mind blowing. Like, what if in
yeah.
Ragnarok? This is speculation part. What if Ragnarok? It comes down to it where Kratos has to die by the hands of Atreus for him to survive Ragnarok. Like, wouldn't that be something? Because what it showed at the and the glyphs on the wall, it showed that Atreus and Kratos lay on the ground and look like their spirits are leaving their bodies. Like, what the hell was that all about? Like, what is going on? It's like, are they both gonna like die or something? Like, holy crap! Like, and they already
I'm so
confirmed that
excited for Ragnarok.
we're gonna be fighting. We're gonna be fighting Thor, Odin. They already confirmed that. We're gonna fight Freya, the witch. We're gonna be fighting her as a boss. Like, this is impressive. So let's freaking go. Let's freaking go, bro.
I'm so excited
Finally,
for God
my
of War
hype for this
Ragnarok.
game is back. Thank you, Game Informer. Thank you, Sony. Thank you, Santa Maki. Finally open up the doors.
We're gonna fight. Hold on, hold on. Having the same theory. What if we get to fight Zeus?
Is Zeus even
Because we know
alive?
that Kratos. No, we know that Kratos killed Zeus, but if he comes back, and what if he wants to get revenge on Kratos, and Kratos has to fight him, and Zeus is more powerful than ever.
And Zeus is
What
like,
if that
I'm
happens?
back, boy.
The hype for God of War Ragnarok is on.
Yeah,
It's on.
that's right.
The hype train is going.
But before that, though, The Last of Us Part 1, which I can't wait. Play
Oh,
that,
okay.
get God of War Ragnarok, and then PlayStation event. I can't wait. Can't wait to see that. Hopefully Tuesday, Sony comes out with a bang and say, hey guys, this is the moment you've been waiting for. We got a juicy, like an hour and a half
Listen,
PlayStation event on September 8th.
you know what I want to talk about?
What?
You know what I want to talk about? Neil, Neil Druckmann.
Okay.
I want to talk about Neil Druckmann because he is one manipulative son of a bitch. Let me just tell you that. Because he is, he is, um, when, he was doing the interviews for Last of Us Part 2, and you see Joel in the trailer, and he talks to Ellie, but in the game it's actually Jesse, and then he pats Ellie on the shoulder, and he goes, "You think I will let you do this on your own?" And everyone thought, "Oh my God, that's Joel," and Joel's alive, and he's gonna be with Ellie on the journey, but the marketing was misled.
hmm
Neil Druckmann essentially lied. He lied. He lied about the Last of Us.
Yeah.
And he just,
Lied about it so much
yeah,
that people say, wait a minute, you lying.
don't believe about Druckmann. He's not honest with his fans. I don't like him, but I mean, listen, um, I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, he did do some drastic things in the last part two that I didn't expect.
Oh
See,
yeah, a lot of people didn't really
see,
like the story of
yeah,
part two.
yeah. I can criticize Neil, but I can also give Neil credit where the credit is due. Right?
Yeah,
Um,
he took some he took a oh I'm gonna say not really I was gonna say risk, but what's that word? Um, he took a he took a story that people thought they was gonna get, but he rerouted it to something completely different. Like a part I'm one of those people that I didn't play part one, but I knew about the ending. Okay, I knew about the ending, about what happened to Ellie and Joel and all that. So like, I don't have like, okay, you know what? I don't have part one in me. I'm not a part one fan, but I'm interested. Part two was interesting. At first, I wasn't like all about it. Like they was like making fun of religion and stuff like that. I was like, you know what? This ain't my neck of the woods. But what sold me was the state of play. The 20-minute showcase. I'm like, oh my goodness, this looks good. So I went in and go, you know what? I'm gonna have a fresh mind. I'm not gonna be biased. I want to see what Neil Druckmann and his team has to offer with this story. Because as I said, The Last of Us is a fantastic series. Okay, I'm gonna go in fresh to part two, and like it became one of my top five PS5 PlayStation games of all time.
They announced Last of Us Part 3. Listen, don't take my word for it, okay?
Okay.
But if Neil Druckmann comes out and he announces that Last of Us Part 3 is happening, I think it's gonna break the internet. I think PlayStation fans are gonna lose their minds.
Yeah.
I think the whole internet is gonna lose their minds, and most importantly, I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay.
Hmm. Now, here's the thing.
I mean, dude, like
It's gonna
imagine
lose
like
their minds in what way? Are they gonna be super excited that it's a day one must buy, or gonna say, "Meh."
well, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna buy it at day one.
That's right.
But
Get to play as like
maybe
80, 50-year-old Ellie taking JJ on a cruise. Oh,
if we get like a different director for The Last of Us Part 3, I think that would be better. I don't think we need Neil Druckmann again. I think he should work on a new IP, but I think you know
yeah. I
sorry.
think what's gonna happen with part three is everybody thinks it's gonna be like Ellie's gonna be bad. I think what's gonna happen is I think part three can possibly have her back and Abby and Lev and all of them, but if they want to like do like hurry up and finish off the stories and end part three as this is the end of the be all, like, but what if a lot of people think that they're going to carry on? Ellie's story's not done. What happens to her after she lets go finally? And what happens to Abby and Lev when they go to Santa Barbara, right? To find the Fireflies. Because they overheard them on the radio, like they talked back and forth. So, if they don't go part three with that side of the story, what if they go, okay, part three, they'll have like the rolling credits, well, not rolling credits, but the intro shows what happened to those characters, but you play as a different protagonist and a different crew, different NPCs. You know, you don't see Tommy, you don't see any of those people. You're just gonna see like a recap what happened like the last few years, like what happened to Ellie and Dina, all them. It'd be like just like a final closure without having them in the game. And they said this is the final game of The Last of Us Part Three, where you take on as a new protagonist, but where the story goes and how it ends, I have no idea. But I'm interested because I like the world.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I
don't make
can't
it to the
wait.
point don't make it to the point where the apocalypse or like like the infection outbreak is no longer keen, because look at The Walking Dead. It's all about the infected, right? All about the zombies, all about survival, right? You're trying to survive day by day, fighting off those things, right? What happened? Why do you think Walking Dead fell off? As it went further along in the seasons, it got less about the infected, about the zombies, about surviving and stuff like that. It's all about, oh no, here's an evil, corrupted group that's gonna come to take your stuff, and they want to dominate. So it's that group versus this group. What happens a couple seasons later? It's this group versus this group. It's like, where is the love and soul you guys had in the first like 3 seasons? Like seasons 1 through 3 is all about the affection, about how to stop it, like how to survive this thing and all that. It's not about a war between these groups. Part two had that, of course. They had the scars and the wolves, and you had Ellie's crew. But like, but yeah, you know what I mean. They gotta stay true to the world and the story of The Last of Us,
Um,
whatever direction they go in.
I yeah, for me, I think that a Naughty Dog, they can work on a new IP. They don't have to make The Last of Us Part Three. Nobody's forced into The
Yeah,
Last of Us Part
and I
Three.
think this
They can
remake,
make it better.
the only reason why they made this remake, a lot of people are like, they're harping down, oh, this is just a cash grab, and yeah, it does look pretty, and it's, they're trying to get people to spend money for the third time, for the third time for this game, like a Grand Theft Auto 5 and a Skyrim, and you've seen the memes, they're all over the place. So here we go, it's a Grand Theft Auto thing. They're just gonna milk the fans, milk it, milk it, milk it. They made this game, in my honest opinion, and I said it in the video before, but since we are talking about The Last of Part 1 and Neil Druckmann and all that, um, my honest opinion, yes, the remaster's free for those that have PlayStation 5, PlayStation Plus, all that, which is fine. But there's going to be fans new players that go from playing The Last of Us Remaster or even the old remaster, and they go to play Part 2, and they feel like, wait, it's like the remaster one's not really up to code, so they don't feel like. Let's just say they started rough. Let's say they started with part two, but they know the remake's coming out, and if they go to play the remaster, it'd be a step down, right? So Naughty Dog figured, well, for those on PC down the road, or those first time players, of course the fans would probably want to play a remake, those hardcore fans, but it's not made for those that bought the game twice and they don't expect you guys to, expect them to pay a $70 fee to play it for the third time. It's for players that never played it or they play part two, so they need a game that's gonna be like leveled or equal to part two as far as gameplay, visuals, and all that. Because part two looks better than most PlayStation 5 games I've seen. I'm sorry. Uh,
I think yeah, Last of Us Part Two, I think, is a game that really took advantage of the PlayStation 4 hardware.
yeah, they
I
like Naughty Dog push it to the
enjoyed.
limit.
Oh yeah. And I think with Last of Us Part Three, they're, they're gonna push the PS5 power to its absolute
So
limits.
you think part three is going to come out at the end of the PlayStation 5 cycle?
Or we could see it during, uh, or it could be a PS6 a launch title,
That's what I'm thinking.
maybe.
I think Naughty Dog will
Yeah,
want to start PlayStation 6 off with a bang. Here's your part three
yeah.
because it's gonna take a few years to do part. I know with the PlayStation 5 and the hardware and new engine, they'll have the new Naughty Dog updated engine for PlayStation 5. Um, all make things a lot easier, but it's still going to take a few years to make sure. Hey, this game looks great. It might be a Miles Morales type of situation where it's on PlayStation 6, but it's also on PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
we shall see. Um, yeah, it's just there's a lot to look forward to. We'll find out on Tuesday if our speculations come true and these rumors that a lot of
So,
sources are saying about September 8th event. But
do we
again,
have any other topics to cover?
not a whole lot other than I
Not
can
a whole
say
lot.
this. I can say this about the PlayStation event. The reason why a lot of people are skeptical of that date is because what's also happening this coming week. Disney is also having a
The
showcase.
Disney event. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm all
and
about the
then
showcase. Yeah.
and next week is all about what Tokyo Game Show. So Sony don't like taking like power away from those events. But they also got another event they got to worry about, and that's Nintendo Direct. They're also doing one September. I don't like covering Nintendo, but those Nintendo fans out there, yes, there is a Nintendo Direct this month. So Sony's got to work around it. But if they do it if they say they do like a PlayStation event like on the 8th, I think that'll work out great because that's before the Disney event. Disney can do their event, I think, on what, Friday? I think it's on Friday or this weekend.
Hmm.
And then Tokyo Game Show, and then Nintendo Direct can do their own thing towards the end.
I think
Oh wow!
I think.
I said, wow, that was loud.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it. Like someone's playing the guitar.
If listen, PlayStation business will that showcase next week, then I think we are in for a treat.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
I
here's
just
I'm
wish
gonna
that.
if we're gonna close this out shortly, which we probably will. We're running out of things to talk about. This is number one, the first one of many Let's Talk PlayStation podcasts. So I'm gonna leave it off with you guys. This is what I think is gonna happen. Is I think Sony is gonna surprise a lot of people. They're gonna talk about the PlayStation, VR2, virtual reality 2. They're gonna
Yeah,
showcase a few things, give us a price and a release date, which is early next year. However, I think this is going to be all about hardware. What if Sony, and let me say this, and a lot of people are going to be skeptical of this. What if Sony introduces a brand new mid fresh regen refresh of the PlayStation 5, whether it's the new smaller, uh, not smaller models, like lighter models, which they don't weigh as much, or what if Sony decides to say, you know what, guys, we got one more thing to show you. It's an announcement for the PlayStation 5 Pro.
I think it's too early for that. To be honest,
You think so?
I think it's too early. Yeah.
So my gut feeling say it is
Where
is some kind of hardware, they're gonna reveal other than the PlayStation VR2 stuff. Um, I just feel like it's probably those it's probably just like the lighter consoles. They got like another like it's just more of the same. Like the digital, they'll have a digital and a physical PS5, but they made it lighter. I don't know what they done, but they made it lighter. So, anyways, I think you got anything else to talk about? Closing thoughts?
yeah. Closing thoughts. I think they announced like um. Listen, I'm gonna end the podcast by saying this. If they announce that the showcase is gonna be like a 40-minute long showcase, then I think they're gonna be holding back a little bit. But if they announce that, listen, hey, we're gonna have an hour and a half long showcase.
Yeah.
We're gonna tell you what's going on behind the scenes at PlayStation Studios. We're gonna tell you what all of our PlayStation Studios are working on. Um, and announce some new games. Then I think we're gonna be in for a bang. I mean, I think
Yeah.
this is gonna be equivalent to like a Super Bowl, but for PlayStation.
Oh, wow.
That'd
That'd
be
be
huge.
huge. That'd be huge. So as for me, like the PlayStation
Personally,
5 Pro,
I'm gonna end it by saying here. I think the PlayStation fans are only gonna be in for a treat over the next few years.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
They need to. Sony needs to come out with a bang, especially after a couple like hiccups with their decisions lately. Um, and whoever did the packaging for the PlayStation Direct, yeah, their bosses need to like teach these guys a little bit better about their stuff. But I will have an unboxing of it, so you guys will know what kind of shape mine's in for the Firefly Edition. But I'm gonna end it off right here with this. What if? I'm gonna leave this on you guys' mind for tonight, or whenever this goes on YouTube. What if Sony comes out with a big, massive announcement of their acquisition? They just they dropped the mic, and they walk off stage. It goes, "Welcome to PlayStation."
Square Enix, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Never mind.
I just have a
He
feeling
just
that.
goes on stage and he's like, "Okay, guys, we're gonna be acquiring Square Enix," and everyone just like loses their shit.
Or Capcom.
Yeah.
It might not even be them. It might be just be someone else. But I just feel like Sony, if they really want to go out with a bang, this is it, guys. I'm gonna end this podcast here. But real quick,
Okay.
just have a mic drop where they just said we have acquired. It's in the final stages. We have acquired blank. And you walk out the stage, and that's it. That's the final. No hidden game reveal like a God of
No,
War.
that's it.
It's an acquisition, a major acquisition.
I think. Listen, I think if they do that, I think Sony is gonna give Microsoft the run for their money.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too.
I think so. Yeah.
I cannot wait. So, what I said, guys, thank you guys for listening to this podcast of Let's Talk PlayStation. This is the first podcast of many. I will have Overexposure on again. We might have a special guest again. I might have to rearrange the outline stream, not stream, but podcast, and include more people on it. But with that said, feel free to like, subscribe if you're new. If you guys want more, Let's Talk PlayStation podcast. We love the love and support you guys giving on this channel of mine. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
G19, for
Yes.
yeah. Thank you, G19, for inviting me to be on your podcast. I really appreciate it,
Yeah.
and I look forward to being on more podcasts. Like that would be great. I loved it. So
Yeah.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, and for sure. And if we do get that PlayStation event, guys, on the 8th, well, it depends what time it is. We might have to watch it after it goes live or even when it's live. We'll make it
Yeah.
happen.
Or
But
live.
with that said, thank you, Exposure. Thank you guys for joining in, watching this at a later date. You guys know what to do. Have a wonderful day, wonderful night. Keep on keeping on. I'll catch you on the next one. Links in the description below for my Twitch, Twitter, and Discord. You guys know what to do. Give me a follow. Join Discord. We can discuss more about PlayStation, AAA, third-party games. You guys know what I like. And I'll talk to you guys on the next one. God bless you guys. Love you guys. Talk to you guys on the next one. Take care.